You know, when you fly into Tokyo, there are these signs in the airport, and they say, you have to start a video in Tokyo at the Shibuya Scramble. Today we're going to investigate what happens in the minds of the Japanese, largely through words that people cannot discuss, because there's a whole bunch of topics here that you can't get into, and there are a whole bunch of words that describe the ways in which you can't get into those topics. I've got a crew of people with me. I'm going to introduce you to them in a second. Let's go see what we can learn. This is my gang for today, by the way. So we've got Jin, who's Korean, Chika, and Kaede. You ready?
Ready.
All right. Lead the way. For this epic piece of content to work, we need to know what we're not allowed to talk about. So, what are we not allowed to talk about?
Race, maybe.
And gender.
Maybe politics?
Or like mental health as well, I'd say.
And the baseball game results.
Oh my God. This is my entire content strategy here. Oh my God. Japanese train, so exotic. Apparently we're supposed to be a little bit quiet. Tell us why.
Yeah, Japanese trains are super quiet. You're not even allowed to make a phone call because it's like you're bringing your personal baggage into other people's spaces, and that's a no-no. Yeah, and even if there's like a loud bang that happens on train, people don't usually look that way because it's like your business, not mine. But yeah.
Literally my entire content is bringing emotional baggage into people's spaces. I don't know if me and Japan are going to get on, but we'll see. I don't think that baby got the rules.
No, the baby has not gotten the rules. They need to be conditioned and brainwashed.
How does that happen?
How does that happen?
Yeah, how do you condition a baby into...
Go to school.
How do you condition a baby into not having feelings and emotions?
Oh gosh. Go to any social environment in Japan. They're like, oh, I'm a trouble to the people around me.
Oh, I was feeling lonely last night as well, so maybe that's what's going on. All right, so obviously what I want to know is what happens if you talk about one of those topics. So have you ever talked about one of those topics, and how did it go?
Yeah, I definitely have, because I grew up abroad. So coming here, I thought I could talk about whatever. I was very radical, but oftentimes it's met with like a nod, like a okay, and people won't fight you for it, but they probably don't want to listen to it either.
Okay. So is there any other way to interpret that nod? Is it like an aggressive nod? Is it like a nod that tries to freeze you in the moment?
I think it's you think that way, but I'll keep it to myself. Like, we don't need to talk about this. Like, let's move on to the next topic. Kind of nod, yeah.
And you've obviously lived in a lot of different countries. How does that feel when it happens?
I hate it because I want to talk and I want to communicate and I want us to come to like an agreement, or like not even an agreement. I just want us to talk and learn more, but I feel like I get shut out. So I've definitely learned how to, walk around those topics. Yeah.
And so then everyone here works as a strategist. How do you do strategy in a culture where you can't say things?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm a bit different because I'm still new, so I'm a lot less loud. So I don't think.
You're less loud in what way? Just because you're young and new?
And yeah, so I'm me. So I'm a lot more like, I'm more reserved in my work life. So I haven't had that issue of like clashing with other people. I sort of listen and nod.
Okay. Have you seen people clash about how direct you could be talking about a particular topic in public?
In a work environment or just in general? Not really, no. I don't think so.
I'll ask you some questions. Jin's warming up. Look, Jin looks really scared. Jin's so scared. Look how much he's sweating. It's not even hot. It's the middle of winter.
It's a breezy day.
It's the middle of winter. Look how much he's sweating. Same. So, Chika, have you ever had that situation where you have talked about a topic in a way that the people around you didn't want you to do?
Yeah, I have experience. So when I talk about the gender with my gay friends, and then my other friends doesn't like gay, So it's kind of fighting because like he exposed that I'm like he's gay. So yeah, it was so tough time and yeah, and then one was my friends can't understand the genderless. So yeah.
So you have dyed your hair blonde, you have a tattoo on the back of your neck, and you have danced in public on the internet.
Yeah, right.
How do you fit into this conservative culture?
But as you know, so I'm so open mind, so I don't care about the genderless, more focus on the what they think or what others feeling. So that's why if I can be an influencer again, yeah, I want to tell more like kind other person as a human like that. Yeah.
And so it sounds like you're not making as much content now, but with blonde hair, tattoo on neck, and dancing, did people that you were close to react in an unusual way?
Yeah, of course. And also I have with blonde hair. Blonde hair is not good things in Japan. And also I have a lot of tattoos. So people think I'm so, how can I say, like Furio? Like not good person in Japan.
How do you feel about that? Do you want them to think that?
Yeah, I feel so awkward. Like when I go to the like classic party, like, but I don't care. So because I want to create the new culture in Japan. Of course, I respect the culture as well, but we have to have with more open mind. I think, but just in my opinion, though.
So what's the worst thing anyone's ever said to you about how you, I guess, behave relative to how conservative it is here?
Like everyone can, like everyone, I look like a posture, and then also sometimes man said how much your body count, like how much your body or what's your body account, like that. Yeah,
Body count.
body account. So how many?
Body count.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel so frustrated, and also but it's fine. It is what it is because that's Japan. So
Okay. Jin,
like that.
Jin, what's your body count? I'm joking. Hey, stop counting. You were counting down as well, by the way. All right. So Jin, you've been here from South Korea for 7 years.
Yeah, well, it was like 7 years.
Well, hang on. Let me ask a question.
Oh, yeah, what's the question?
The question is why?
Why? Actually, I moved to Japan because I like Japanese culture, like anime, where like good foods and nice attitude about food. What?
Yeah, there was definitely while pointing at people who might or might not identify as women. Interesting. Well saved, because you're not allowed to talk about gender. No. Well done.
And gender, yeah.
He's sweet so much. Keep going.
Okay. Also, I like Japan. It's okay. Okay. I like Japanese advertised commercials, so I like to make Japan. I like to move to Japan and make some Japanese commercials, and after I moved back to the Korea, and I like to make just like Japanese commercials.
Okay, cool. So, question let me ask you this. Have you had any difficult moments, especially in the workplace, but have you had difficult moments being South Korean and adjusting to Japanese culture?
Actually, there's one difficult things because when I was a university student, I just talked about. I like to talk about Korean Japanese relationships. I really like it as a politic things. So I'd like to talk about it in a very healthy way, but they didn't want to talk about it. And when I wants to talk that themes before the community, I almost kicked out from the community, and and that was a little trauma to me. So I after that I didn't talk about the themes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, for the three of you, but especially for both of you because you're from overseas, do you feel that you pay a psychological price? I'm talking about mental health now. Do you pay a psychological price for having to not talk about these topics? You can move the microphone around too.
I think so, yeah, because to me there's so much frustration in wanting to talk about things that really matter, but it feeling silenced even in mass media so much. I feel like in Japan there's this word called heiwaboke, which means like peaceful dumbness. So everyone's sort of in this bubble of happiness and everyone being the same, and it's sometimes frustrating because that's not all there is, and we need to pay attention to more severe things, and that definitely takes a toll on me trying to communicate that sometimes, yeah.
Anybody else have an answer to that question?
そういうなんかこういう社会の問題とか喋れないことに対してストレスとかメンタル的になんか重みみたいなのあったりする？なかったら多分いいんだよ。
So I work with the governor of Gunma Prefecture, and then of course, like most of Japanese people can't speak topic about politics, but he is so nice person, and he has worked hard for Gunma Prefecture. I wanted to tell to something using my Instagram or YouTube, but I couldn't do that. So at the moment, I feel so frustration because sometimes people people isn't misunderstanding. So yeah, like that.
Nothing hard.
So a lot of you would have seen Japanese advertising. It's known for being pretty distinctive. Not often a ton of words or words that make sense, often pretty crazy stuff. And to be honest, one of my favorite television shows represents this. Takeshi's Castle. Oh, I love that show. Love that show. Every year I'd find myself binging that on YouTube. It's very old, obstacle course, absurdist. When Uniqlo moved to the US probably 15 or so years ago, there was a lot of discussion around how they did it because they launched with these campaigns that were just absurdist dancing, hardly any words, if any words, obviously music. And this is before TikTok, really before YouTube was even mainstream. So it wasn't as if there was like an internet visual language here. So I've asked the crew behind me to spend a little bit of time explaining to you in English, Japanese, or whatever language comes to mind, how they see Japanese advertising, like what makes Japanese advertising Japanese advertising.
I think one of the biggest characteristics of ads in Japan is they tend to be very informative, very function-based. So I feel like all the ads, so say for example like a laundry detergent is basically the same from each other because it's all about whatever percent of cleanliness, and I think it's less about expression or narrative storytelling. It's more just about boom boom boom, here's context, here's information, and here's a celebrity. Yeah, I think that's quite characteristic of Japanese ads.
일본의 광고는 약간 직접적으로 뭔가 상품을 팔린다기보다 약간 그 상품을 사서 삶이 어떻게 바뀌는지에 대해서 얘기를 더 많이 하는 것 같아요. 그래서 브랜드가 직접적으로 그 상품에 대해서 얘기를 한다기보다는 약간 스토리텔링을 하면서 그리고 어떠한 페르소나를 만들어서 그 형태를 가지고 이제 캐릭터로 만든다든지 마스코트를 만든다든지 여러 가지 방법을 통해서 자기의 브랜드를 프레젠테이션하고 그리고 그 브랜드에 대해서 이 상품을 샀을 때 어떻게 삶이 변화하는지에 대해서 얘기를 하는 방법이 다른 국가에 비해서 매우 뛰어난 것 같아요. 그래서 저는 일본의 광고를 제가 가장 좋아하는 방법 하나고, 다른 나라에서도 이러한 스토리텔링을 브랜드에 하는 것이 최근에 유행이 되고 있기 때문에 굉장히 배울 점이 많다고 생각합니다.
So while I said that Japan has definitely held on to some of its uniqueness, it's hard walking around here over 20 years after I first came, not necessarily to this area, but in general, everything has been more normalized. More global brands. Yes, there's still a lot of Japanese design and unusual Japanese stuff here, but what have the algorithms done to us? What have the private equity firms done to us? What have all these global brands done to us? They're sort of changing us into the same person everywhere, just a little bit. Don't want to emphasize that too much here, but the streets are definitely more normal than I would have expected, especially compared to, say, 20 years ago.
Muji, its popularity in Japan reflects more than just minimalism. It speaks the cultural values. Its quiet design embodies the beauty of empty spaces. And in a highly context-driven culture like Japan, communication is subtle. What is unsaid often speaks the most. And Muji is no exception. Muji doesn't explain, it simply invites you to feel. And even in its name, Mujirushi Ryohin, which directly translates to no brand, high quality goods, suggests quiet confidence and not some self-promotion. And while it is true that much of Japanese advertisements tends to be highly functional and informative, like I talked about in the streets of Harajuku, the opposite is true for Muji. The contrast is telling. In a culture that values so much of what is spoken and when it's spoken, perhaps Muji's strength is its silence.
今日はナイキジャパンのブランドケーススタディについてお話しします。日本では人種差別などの問題を公に語ることはあまりなく、こうしたトピックを避ける傾向にございます。この広告はそうした無言のルールに挑戦しました。沈黙することが美徳という日本社会の考え方に一石を投じたのです。キャンペーンのタイトルは The Future Isn't Waiting。日本語では動かし続ける自分を未来をです。広告には日本に住むサッカー選手の3人が登場します。そのうち2人は外国にルーツを持ち、実際に体験した差別や偏見について語っています。ナイキがこの広告を目指したのはグローバルで掲げている多様性と包括の価値観を日本市場にも伝え、社会的な対話を生み出すことでした。しかし日本では賛否両論で批判の声が多く上がりました。事実を誇張している、日本を悪く書きすぎている、外国企業が国内問題に口を出すべきではない、といったコメントが見られました。この事例はグローバルブランドが価値を伝える際にローカルの文化的な背景をどれだけ理解するかが大事ということを示しました。また伝えることと伝わることは違うということもこの広告を通じ学ぶことができます。
So that's Tokyo, the city in which what you don't say says everything, which is funny for me because when I'm teaching, I will talk about getting robbed in Colombia. I will talk about growing up in a divorced family. I will talk about mental health challenges. Tokyo is almost the opposite of me in so many ways, but I love it, love Japanese culture, always have, and it was really cool to be back here again, not eating noodles next to men or eating pornographic magazines in 7-Eleven.